and so we're gonna talk about, right?
Yeah.
What brings you down, right? Which is, and we're gonna keep punching that same bag, right? Faith has evidence, right? Faith just continues to reveal more about who Jesus is, and so we're gonna talk about, and we said some of them. I don't act like we didn't. We mentioned points of clarification for our faith.
Yeah.
And those are a part of what starts to bring us back down. But notice this, and man, what God did was amazing, right? And you know how much we fight, right? How much we fight to show people how to live out what we're teaching.
Yeah. And
God was like, Brian, there's gonna be a moment, and just say what I need you to say. You know, and you kind of started off by saying, man, like the message itself.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what how God wanted to design it, is to say, man, to really, you
even highlighted
at
that
no
moment
point,
to us.
at no point did we say peace comes because you got an answer.
Right.
But we talked about our faith. We talked about what it means to be a person of faith. We talked about what it means to live out faith. We talked about, you know, of course, we took it back to Jesus. We talked about Jesus and what he means to us.
Right.
We talked about, and we got to the point, right? That was the major point, right? Man, faith, peace doesn't come from God's next performance, but fully accepting his greatest performance. And we talked about in a way, right? If somebody would have retitled it, it's like resting in his finished works. If I was going to be eloquent, I would have titled it resting in his, how to rest in his finished works, right? But that's what we did. We talked about resting in his finished works. So we talked about what that means. That's what brings it down.
That's good.
But however, we have to present it in a way, you know, that's our challenge. That's why we do what we do, is we have to present it in a way. I know saying, man, you got to rest in this finished work, doesn't exactly tell you what to do today.
Right.
So we're doing everything we can to show you how to do that, show you how to live that. And it became a moment at the service at the end where it's like, oh man, it was just awesome. You know, we see moments that God has designed to happen, and it's just powerful when that moment comes. And there were several moments. I know I shared some with you before, and was like, man, if we get there, like, if we get there, right? You know, and we got there, and it was like, what just happened? Everybody in this room, everybody online who has been attending to this word, you feel at peace.
That's right.
Why?
Right.
And that's where God wanted. It's almost like that's where God wanted.
That's where he wanted us to be.
Why? I mean, have you complained? Have you compared? Have you competed during this service? Right? Have you entertained any outside voices? Have you logged on social media? Have you, what? I mean, I know we know these things are important, but have we reviewed the sample and said, man, you know what? For this last 2 hours that I've been singing, dancing, hearing the word, you're absolutely right. Nothing happened about my problem.
Right.
But I didn't worry about it.
That's right.
Right? And I was like, okay, God, you want me to go down like the list? He was like, go down the list of what people didn't do during that service.
Right.
But what they did do.
Right. That's good.
And tell them, right? And of course, that's where we kind of ended there. I know I'm almost deeper down.
But now, what did you name it? So in that moment, you named it. You gave us a name for it. You said the point is that when we look through life with Jesus as the filter, or his finished work as a filter, his greatest performance as the filter, this is where we are. This is where we'll be. And I saw many of you in the chat. That's what you put in the chat, is like, man, I gotta see life through with Jesus finished work as the filter. That's what keeps me in my peace. That's what keeps me in this place of peace. And so I think that it was powerful that not that we were brought here through the message, and that's that's what I wanted to was communicating to you after the message. It's like you brought us through this process where it was almost like we put that lens on, and all of us together experienced this peace because we were looking at Jesus. We looked through that we put that filter on our lives. So the message brought us to this place, and the reflecting then from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is remembering. It wasn't complaining. It wasn't comparing. It's not competing. It's not through, getting all this other information that brings me there.
Yeah.
It's putting this filter on and seeing that be the lens for my life. That's what brings me to this peace.
Yeah.
So that's the, definitely a highlighted moment that I want us to. Well, that's the moment that we want to carry away from here. It's like, man, when I see through this lens, I'm gonna find it. Truth is, the only way to experience peace in life is to filter life through His life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the moment. So,
just peace is a person.
Because peace is a person.
Peace is a person.
Right.
Right. And that's almost what I was saying, right? Peace be still, right? He cast, for us to see, right? And this may be too deep for some. This is the deeper dive. But what God was just showing with me, and of course I didn't say this on Sunday, right? This is another Pastor Brian. This is what God was showing me. He was like, Brian, he cast himself on the problem. Don't think about the wave stopping.
That's good.
Think about, he said, my peace I leave you. He left his peace. He cast himself on it. And all I'm asking people to do, all guys have to do is cast me on it. And that's where, see it through his life, right? It was like, because the point was, and I just want to make this clear, right? And that's why we went to John, right? And talked about trials and tribulation, right? Now, I understand what I'm saying. Like, these guys were handpicked so that they would have all the failures so that we would be able to see how to win in every way. Just slow down what I'm just saying, right? These guys were handpicked so that it's like amongst them, they were going to fail in every way possible so that we can always see the way to win, right? And so I'm saying that to say, like,
wait,
it's
I want to make sure they got what you just said, because this is a way to read even the Bible. Yeah. When we look through the New Testament, the disciples were handpicked by Jesus so that when we see their failures, we can reverse that to see every way that we can win.
Yeah, so people talk, which is, that's just, Pastor Brian reverse engineers a lot of stuff, right? How you would typically say it is, man, Jesus hung out with the worst of them, right?
Right.
So I see that as,
wow,
Jesus handpicked guys who would fail in every way.
Yeah.
So that we would know how to win in every way, right? And so.
That's a tattoo. That's a good one.
Pastor Brian has embraced his creativity.
Amen.
And he's not afraid to show it.
Yes.
And I know it's people are like, you just said that way different than I ever heard it. But I believe I've been called to reach people that was like, and now I get it. Right? Like when you said it that way, it finally just was like, man, Jesus picked guys that would fail in every way.
Yeah.
So that he can show us how to win in every way.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
And so it's like, there's like this balance in between, like, which we know because Jesus' expectation was, right? It's almost like Jesus, like, I know these guys are gonna fail, right? And I believe, like, and so I was just, this is me just studying. I'm like, it's almost like Jesus was like, I have to get to sleep really quick when I get on this boat. Like Jesus, like, I can't lollygag, right? Because I got to get to sleep quickly, so we can. Because it has to be too soon. Yeah. Right? They can't think that we can make it.
Right.
Like, it has to be soon enough, and I have to be asleep enough that we can get this lesson in. I handpicked these guys, and I believe they're going to give me what I need in this scenario.
Wow.
This scenario, so that I can grow them in this scenario, and so that people will always have what they need so they can grow, right? And so you're sitting there, and it's like, I'm like, my point is, like, The goal is, and this is what I'm trying to say, wasn't for the storm never to happen.
Right. Right.
Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Right? The storm wasn't the mistake.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's what we're trying to get people to see. The storm isn't the mistake.
Yeah.
The storm isn't the problem.
That's
what
John 16.
Exactly.
Right.
So we went there. I say, man, like, it's the peace that's available. But it's not automatic.
Right.
I have to receive it. It's the trials that's automatic.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just believe that somehow, some way, God was able to minister a message
Oh, he did.
that brought you peace by just raising the value of His Son in your life, not because you were promised answers.
That's good.
Wow, imagine
Wow.
that, right? Not because you were promised breakthrough, not because you were promised
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
that you haven't already been promised,
Right.
which is, I'm with you.
That's
And just
good.
raising the value of what that means to you.
That's good.
Raising the value of how that changes. Because, man, like, I don't know, I don't want to go off that end, but it's like, and I gave you just a portion of my testimony. Like, I was fighting for, I had to live, right? I had to live, not just be. Like, I had to live, and so it's like I had to sit down and allow God. That's where we kind of stopped at, right? To teach me forward. Right? It's like I had to be allowed the God to teach me.
Yeah. So, and I want to take, because that was a point that was made in the message, and just so that we all capture that thought, you said that I don't know if you said it like this on Sunday, but I've heard you say that a good leader doesn't always lead forward, but a good leader takes opportunities to teach you forward, which goes back to the value that God has in us being the miracle, our development, not just bringing you the answer. Sometimes the answer is not you getting the answer.
Yeah.
The answer is how you develop through.
Yeah.
I learned that in math class, right? Isn't that what our math teachers told us? It's not about getting the answer. I want to see how you got to the answer.
Yeah.
Show me your work.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what Jesus is doing in this moment for His disciples. No, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to teach you.
Yeah.
And this is what what happens in our lives. He wants us to know things. The Holy Spirit wants things to be revealed to us. If you have a question, because the deeper dive is all about clarity, so we can walk this, be practical and apply it to our lives. If you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat or send a direct message. You can send a direct message. We'll get back to you with your questions for clarity's sake. And if you're listening, I know many people, some people might be commuting, you might be working or doing things where you can hear it, but I encourage you to find the time to go back to this moment, back to the deeper dive, and get your journal out, get your Bible out, get your notepad out, and make sure that you're connecting the dots. Let's reflect on this word together so that we can move forward together. Had to get that in. But what you're saying, and then after you made that point in John 16:33, the thought that came to me is every day is a good day. For the believer, every day is a good day.
Yes. Yes. And that's where we're growing to, right? To where we're built that every day is a good day.
Yeah.
Right? We kind of had some little notes there. Of course, we're going to continue building on it, right? Where like even if I see what look like trouble, man, that could just be Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? Like
that's good.
that could just be Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm so in a way, I'm so over it.
Yeah.
Like I'm so over worrying
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right. it could just be Jesus, right? Like I can't even do that, right? I can't even go there with you no more. I can't go there with them no more, right? You know, and I'm just going to enjoy life worry free. I'm gonna enjoy the journey. I'm gonna embrace whatever it is, because it could just be Jesus. Right, if that's the thought, right, and of course, you know, just get to the point of practicality. You just say it on Sunday, like, just cast that on it, right? Just cast it on it, like it could just be Jesus, right? Like if that, you know, like anyway. But
so this challenge could be an opportunity.
Yeah.
This challenge could be an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to see God do what only God can do, or me to see Him in a way that I hadn't seen before, me to get some revelation, or me to project character. Even that.
Right. So
man,
now we're back in the. So we're it's almost like we were at baby stage, right? We're at little faith, right? We're just saying, let's go a little further.
Yeah.
And just label it something else, right? But man, right? And there is a clear expectation, right? That absolutely. First of all, there is a goal. No worry.
Right.
There actually is. That's the benchmark. No worry. And I believe no worry is the fruit of just. I think we talked about this before. We did, and we're probably get there a little further, right? That worry, just like fear, is an indicator of a problem. What problem?
That's good.
That there's points and parts of God's character that you've yet to be exposed to.
Yeah.
And so I like to say it like this, right? Man, worst case scenario, God has an experience waiting for you.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you are worried about something, worst case scenario, God has experience waiting for you.
Yeah.
Understand this, that and this is a major point, right? Major point. Many people are asking for an answer.
Right. That's
and
good.
Jesus is trying to teach them a lesson. Right?
That's good.
Like he's like, nah, right? I'm finna teach you. I did the miracle last time, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
That's good.
So now we going to school,
Wow.
right? And that's all throughout Scripture. So now we're going to school, right? And now you have to. My point is, you have to posture your ears different.
Yep.
Now that you're going to school, and of course we're gonna talk about that next week, right? We go to school. In school, you learn how you built it is important.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're gonna go to school now.
That's
Right?
good.
Now it's time to go to school. Right? Now it's time we had Sundays, but now we got to go to school. And there are some basic principles that we can't ignore. That literally, like you gotta learn this. You gotta go to school.
Yeah.
Because people, and that's I don't want to go too far away, but a lot of people think and that's the problem, right? They think their peace is being disturbed. I don't know. We'll get there.
That's good.
But
That's good.
Let's end it there. That's good.
Good stuff. That's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
so good. Wow. This was good in many ways.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this time that we get to spend together.
Yeah.
During the deeper dive on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. Make the most of it. I mean, ring it out, get everything that's available to you from the moment, and share it. Share this moment with your friends, families, co-workers, the person that's getting on your nerve, the person that loves you, that you love a lot. Make sure that you share this, and so that, again, we can all get the clarity needed so that we can apply it and we move forward together. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Maybe I'll catch you in the chat. Till then, today is a good day to have a good day.
Yes.